Welcome back, guys. We're due for a huge update. Lots of work happening with the Evo. Lots of work already has happened. Got a lot done since our last video. I got a lot of miscellaneous things done. So we're gonna cover a bunch of stuff that I had already done that I didn't film. So this is gonna be more of an update video, okay, to kind of go over everything and where I'm at. All right, so for the fuel system, I basically went all radium, except for the injectors. The injectors are FIC 1250s, but I got the full radium fuel system, okay, which is the in-tank hanger. This guy here, sorry it's a mess, but I'm doing a lot of stuff. So I got the in-tank hanger with a single Walbro 450, okay. I got the line kit. I'll show you guys at some point, maybe in a different video, but anyways, there's a line kit with the fuel filter underneath. So there's that, you can kind of see it there. It sticks down a little bit more than what I would like, but still well protected with that bracket, okay. And then obviously the fuel rail, it comes with the gauge, it comes with the fuel pressure regulator. That's kind of quasi built in, all right. And the only thing that I had to modify of that system, because it comes with all the lines, it's basically all set up for you, is the return line, because I am running an ethanol sensor in this car, okay, from Zaytronics. So for the return line, I did have to just kind of make that line myself. Okay, now on the topic of the Zaytronics, so I went with the Zaytronics wideband, the CT2 with the ZR2 multi-gauge. I love the Zaytronics stuff. This stuff is super reliable. It just doesn't fail. It never gives up. And this is a multi-gauge, so it always shows you wideband around. And then with this button, you can change the digital display here to display different things. So on this system, I'm gonna run, I also plumbed the boost gauge, a boost sensor, okay, and the ethanol sensor. So with the ethanol, you do have to have the little box that reads the ethanol sensor, but you can display it here. If not, you know, I'm gonna have the other thing in the glove box. But anyway, so this will display the wideband, boost, and the ethanol content, okay. And then for the gauges, I went with this setup. So these are VLS 2. I believe these are made by like a company that owns Tanabe or something like that. So these are basically wannabe Deffies, okay. They're not quite Deffies, but they do have some of the same functionality as far as the peak and the warning. And the other cool thing about it is that you can change the backlight color from white to red, amber, whatever. They do have these little controllers. This is how you set the warnings and everything. I'm not really sure if I have to keep them, and if I do, where I would put them. But for now, they're plugged in. I'm kind of hoping that I can set them up and then disconnect those and not have to have these sticking out, because I really just want to set up, like, you know, the color and the warnings and stuff like that. I got all my sensors installed. So here's my boost sensor and my oil pressure sensor, and here is my water temperature sensor, which you guys might have seen on the head install. And then I got my oil temperature down there. I did have to put it on the oil filter housing, because I try to put it on this STM drain hole, you know, the drain bolt, but honestly it just stuck out too much, because if you guys see this sensor's a little bit on the longer side. So I'm gonna install it here temporarily. Eventually I may do the Infinite Evo oil pan on this again. I know this is not ideal. I would like it in the sump, but you know, it just wasn't worth the risk of it sticking down and getting knocked over and then losing all oil, right? When I took this motor mount out, the rubber on this was all worn out, okay. So Torque Solutions is somewhat local to me here in Florida. So I went over there and I picked up all new replacement bushings for this mount, and that mount. I still gotta finish tightening all this up. This is a huge wire mess, but obviously the 3 gauges are gonna go over there. The wideband is gonna go over here, and there's a bunch of stock parts everywhere, new stock parts, because this car is just milking me to death with just missing just random little things. Like it's missing the accelerator pedal stop, okay? It's missing the firewall, like the steering shaft cover. The gauges, the old gauges were mounted here, and by the way, all the gauges were bad. So this thing was all drilled and hacked, so I gotta replace that. There's a little bracket that goes here, it's also broken. So just, dude, like tons of stuff. There's all kinds of little brackets and clips and like all these little things. Like, look, that's stuff missing. I am gonna be installing that, but like all these grommet things were missing. So I've just been doing a lot of little BS work. All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish up the install on the gauges, and I'll at least show you guys that up, okay? All right, got everything ready to test. Everything just kind of connected, but it's not perfectly placed. So let's see what these gauges look like. Oh, that's not bad. Let me turn this light off. Yeah, it looks like those look all right. And then here's the wideband, the ethanol content. I'll be able to switch this to boost as well. Gotta see if that's calibrated correctly. And this is voltage from that, so I still gotta do the conversion. Right now showing E3, but I still gotta prime the fuel system and everything. And then let's see if I can do this with one-handed. There we go. So now you can see you can switch them. And then I think when you turn the light on, hold on. Okay, I think when you turn the light on, oh, it's still red. Okay, so they do dim, but I think you can set the colors white one way, like during the day, and red at night. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. And this is just dimmed. So you can also dim them from here. So I'm hoping that I can just set them up and then get rid of these little wires. Gotta set up the warnings and all that stuff. This actually should be giving me a warning now. There it goes. Thanks. All right, so I gotta tidy all this stuff up. I don't know that I'm gonna put it 100% back together since I still got work to do in front. All right, guys, and with that, I'm gonna leave it here. Again, this is just more of an update. On the next video, I am putting in the turbo setup and hopefully getting this thing started. All right, guys, so I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.